Alright, hey, HadesOmega here, and this is the after action review for the Roland Sands Moto Beach Classic 2023 flat track races. Alright, and so here's the story. I actually wanted to race this race for a couple years now, alright, and I actually started flat track racing this year, so I've got some experience under my belt. Alright, I've done the Santa Rosa indoor flat track, and I've done a bunch of dirt track and flat track oval race, the short track races, and dirt track races at Hakamazata Moto Camp this year, and so that I've got a lot of flat track practice under my belt with this guy. All right, and yeah, so I wanted to race this race like last year. I thought, oh wow, that looks kind of cool, that looks kind of fun. I would drive all the way down there to go do this race, you know, it sounds pretty cool. And what wound up happening was, I think I had a conflict last year. Last year, there was like a Supermoto race that same day, and I was like, oh no, I was gonna race it, all right? I think there was another race that day. Man, I think 2 years ago there was a conflict or something, and I wound up racing a Supermoto race instead. And I shit you not, like the weekend, that day, like on Saturday, there was like 3 or 4 events going on at the same time. I could have gone to like any one of them, man. There was a 2-wheel track day event at Horse Thief Mile. There was a Supermoto, Shasta Supermoto race in Reading. And then there's, yeah, the Moto Beach Classic, and there was some other race, I forgot what it was, but yeah. There was a lot of stuff happening on like the same day. It's freaking nuts, right? Why did they have to schedule it all on the same? Because this is like the best time of the year. The weather's the best time, right? It's not too hot, not too cold type of thing. We still got a lot of sunlight, that type of thing. All right. Yeah, that's probably why, is what I'm gonna say. So yeah. So this is the Roland Sands Moto Beach Classic, right? And it's this beach racing event that he holds like every year. I think sometimes he's done it in San Francisco, so I missed that one. I think there was another schedule conflict with it, but this year I was determined to go. All right. Last year, what happened? Last year I didn't go because they ran out of tickets. All right. So the way you sign up for this race is you go to the Roland Sands Design webpage. All right, and then you have to actually buy a ticket to enter the race. All right, type of thing on the website. And then I think the first class is $100, and then the second class after that is like $50 each. All right, so HadesOmega signed up for 2 classes. All right. Okay, yeah. So you have to go to the website and you have to sign up. All right, so this is the after action review, guys. All right, of that event, and it's supposed to be what was supposed to happen, what really happened, and what things we could do to improve in the future, type of thing. Okay. And so what was supposed to happen, HadesOmega was supposed to sign up for this race and race it, all right? And so like the process to enter the race was to go to the Roland Sands website and you buy a ticket there, all right? And like I said, the first race is $100 and the subsequent races are $50. So HadesOmega was going to race 2 classes. I signed up for Electric Open and Run What You Brung. All right, Run What You Brung is an open class. You can race anything. So you name it, you could race it, type of thing. It's pretty nuts, man. There was probably some other races I probably could have raced. Maybe we could have raced in Mad Dog. I'm not sure. That's a mini class, and this is a mini bike. But yeah, they're for like, it's for like gas bikes. And it's like, well, you should race in the electric class, Merlin, because how often do you get a chance to race against other electric bikes? That's what I'm saying, all right? So yeah, I actually, so the original idea was to just race a light B. All right, so I've been doing a lot of flat track races with the light B, and I haven't done any flat track races with the Redshift. All right, I just got this thing this year. Okay, so I've done a couple Supermoto races on it, and but here's the scoop. If you read on the website, it tells you like, hey, this is what the course is going to be like. They said it's going to be on asphalt. All right, so I watched some videos from last year, and it was not on asphalt. It was on like a sand. They had like a sand track or something. It was like, I guess they threw a bunch of sand over the asphalt, and they raced on top of it. And yeah, I didn't I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to race on that with the Redshift, but I knew if it was on asphalt, HadesOmega is good on asphalt, man. Actually, I've never done flat track on asphalt. All right, I've never done a flat track, short track on asphalt, and it's interesting. You get a lot of grip. All right, as I want to say, you're gonna have lots of grip, and man, like yeah. So I've done it on the indoor concrete, which is really slippery, and I've done it on a cushioned dirt track. All right, which is kind of like a motocross track a little bit, sort of. All right, but yeah, obviously it's flat, right? And now I get to do it on asphalt. All right, so and I knew asphalt slicks. That's what you want. And I have slick tires for the Redshift, and I have slick tires for the Lightbee. All right, so that was a scoop. HadesOmega was gonna race the Lightbee in the electric open and run with your Brung. All right, and then I was thinking, man, I don't know. They got they'll have some crazy ass bikes like Harley Baggers or something, or some kind of cruiser bike. And I'm getting flashbacks to Santa Rosa indoor flat track, where that guy hit me with the Zero bike, man, and like that bike is like twice the size of this bike. All right, it's twice the weight of this bike, and I went flying when he hit me, and I'm just thinking in my mind, dude, if I got hit by a bagger, just imagine that's gonna be really bad, especially on this little guy, man. So yeah, and then after the San Francisco TT. My buddy Andy was all, hey, why don't you race the Alta too? I'm like, oh, I didn't want to bring both bikes. It's a pain in the ass. I got to put it on the trailer, and I got to drive hella slow. And then, but then I thought, like, yeah, you know what? Just bring both bikes. It'll be fun. So I could have raced in either class, all right. But what I chose, all right. The plan was now the plan is to race the Lightbee in the electric open, because I know this bike very well, and I think it would do pretty good. And then race the Alta Redshift in the run with your Brung. All right. Unfortunately, I can't do both of them. I would love to race the Redshift in the electric open also. I think it would have done okay. All right, because there was another Redshift in that race. Okay, I wasn't the only one with the Redshift there. That's interesting, right? Yeah, it would have been battle of Redshifts. It would have been a pretty interesting race. But we'll get to that when we get there, all right? So yeah. Anyway, this year they didn't. Last year they ran out of tickets. That's why I couldn't race last year. I was like, I waited till the last second. You know, HadesOmega procrastinates on these races. I like to check the weather is what I do. I like to make sure it's not too hot, not too cold, or raining or whatever. You know, some crazy weather. I don't want to race in some bad weather, right? So HadesOmega is a fair weather racer, right? But more often than not, HadesOmega is racing in the heat though. So and I hate it, man. It's awful. But yeah, the weather. I checked the weather and it looked good, and they had plenty of tickets. They pretty much let anybody thing. There's no registering for races day of the race. You have to do it, you know, on the website before. So you buy the tickets. I bought the tickets like 2 weeks before the race, and I'm like, man, I'm not getting any kind of information about the race, and yeah, I'm not getting any information until like a little less than a week before the event. No, it was like half a week. It was a half a week before the event. I got an email about it, and it says like, okay, you got to go here, you got to do this, and you got to pit and all that stuff. So, and then yeah, I knew, okay, yeah, we're totally gonna do this now, all right. And then yeah, so the plan is to just take the 2 bikes down there and race them, all right. So here's what really happens, all right. We load the bikes up. Okay, so here's the plan. I took out Friday before noon. It's kind of early. You cannot load. So here's the thing I don't like about this race, guys. The pit setup. You can't have your vehicle in the pits, all right? And I don't understand that. I mean, I guess the area where the pits is really small, so they can't have people in there. Yeah, they just didn't have a lot of space to pit the bikes and stuff, so you have to like kind of, you gotta go, it's like Virginia City Grand Prix, yes, okay, there you go, it's exactly like Virginia City Grand Prix. You go there the morning of, you go there, and then you drop all your gear off, you go park, and then you set up your pit, all right? It's exactly like Virginia City Grand Prix, all right? Yeah, and I kind of, for a flat track race, why not just, why can't I just, and I was thinking, like, you know what, my vehicle is kind of part of my pit, if I was going to take the light beat only, I would have put it on the Moto jack rack, and the Moto jack rack is my motorcycle stand, and it's connected to the vehicle. I can't use it anywhere else. And so that's actually part of my pit, and it has all, and I can put all my stuff in the car and everything. I think they're afraid that either people are going to bring like RVs and stuff, and there's just going to be no room for anything. But anyway, so the logistics of it, it all kind of sucked. I'm not going to lie. There's no place to camp there. All right, you're going to have to go to a hotel or something. Honestly, I don't like going to a hotel, because when you go to a hotel, you got to park your vehicle there, and then the bikes are on the trailer, and people can see them, and people will steal them. I've heard nightmare stories about that. People staying at a hotel, and then all their stuff gets stolen. I'm like, frick that, man. I'm not gonna do that. What HadesOmega prefers to do is camp. At least I'm sleeping with my stuff. All right, I feel it's safer that way. And and then I looked on the websites and stuff, and there's no place to camp around there. It's in the city. It's in LA, guys. And there's literally no place to camp in LA unless you like kind of boondock. If you know a place where you can pull off somewhere and take a nap, all right? So yeah, so that's the scoop. That's one thing I didn't like. Most races, you can go there the day before and then park, where the pits, set your pit up, and then you sleep there, and then the next day is the race, right? Because some people have to come in from really far away, so it's kind of sucks for. It's a good race for locals, because if you're local, like you're in the LA area, you just go there, you drive, you drop your stuff off, and then and then you go from home, right? I can't do that. I'm like 5-6 hour drive away, man. So yeah, so already I'm already kind of like, I kind of don't want to do this anymore. I can't find a place to sleep. All right, so here's the plan. All right, I needed, so since I'm bringing both bikes and I'm gonna run tire warmers. All right, HadesOmega wants to increase his chances of winning by having sticky tires. All right, and by having sticky tires, I gotta run slicks, and I have to heat them up. Right, and then I'll have, my greatest chance. All right. Now, yes, you could be like a badass flat tracker and just slide your bike the whole freaking time. It is very good, but no, I was like, no, we're gonna do this supermoto, man. I'm gonna race this supermoto style, all the grip I can get, right, type of thing. And I was just gonna apply all the flat track racing experience and knowledge that I gained throughout the year, and hopefully it'll pay off. All right. Well, it did. Okay. Spoilers there. All right. So yeah, I load everything up, and I leave around, I leave around 10, all right? And the plan is to go to Fresno, all right? There was a guy, I forgot his name, sorry dude, on Facebook Marketplace. He was selling this stand. Here we go. Here it is right here. Tusk motorcycle lift stand, all right? I needed it. You need to lift the vehicle, you need to lift the bike off the ground so I can get the motorcycle tire warmers on there, all right? So I have to go. I've been looking for one of these for a long time, like almost like half a year now. I've been looking for a stand for this thing, man, because I sold the stands that came with the bike because they're just too big and bulky. This is much more simpler, all right? I guess, and it's easier to operate. It just lifts from the bottom. And yeah, so that was the scoop. So yeah, we were gonna go to Fresno and pick this up along the way. So I had to take a kind of a detour. You have to go from 5 to 99. That's like on the other side, further east, when you could just take the 5 straight to thing. So I lost maybe like an hour or two going there, but I needed the stand. And the dude was selling it. He said he would sell it to me for 40 bucks. All right, these stands are almost like $100. So I've had one before, and I knew like, oh, it's a decent one. It'll lift the DR650. I know that. All right, but you probably don't want to use it for DR. So I take off, and then I shit you not, man, I'm not even on the freeway yet, and I hear a thump 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 thump, and I see my trailer kind of bobbing up and down. I was like, what is that noise? So before I get on the freeway, I go a little farther. I was like, you know what? Let's go take a look at this. And I pull over somewhere, and I take a look at the tire, and there's like a bubble on the tire, and I'm not shitting you. I don't shit you. These Harbor Freight tires that I've been buying recently, they're garbage, man. The tread, there's a bubble between the tread and the tire and stuff, and then it gets hot and it explodes eventually, you know. And well, obviously the little bump is enough where I can hear it. The trailer's like jumping up and down and making noises, so it's that bad. Had I got on the freeway, it would have been even worse. So luckily I caught it before I got on the freeway. I kind of limped it home, and I went here and I went back home and I put the spare tire on, all right, the trailer. I was like, man, these freaking trailer, man. I hate using the trailer, man. But anyway, I swapped the tires and I was like, shit, I got no spare tire now. So I told the dude, hey, I'm gonna be like an hour. I'm gonna be there at like 1 or 2. That's what I say. Instead of like I told him around. I put the spare tire on and like we're good to go. Luckily the other tire didn't explode. All right, because I shit you not, that happened when I went to Oregon. One tire exploded, and then the other one was gonna explode soon. So I wound up buying 2 tires. These freaking tires, man, and they used to be $30 and they're $50 now. So they're almost twice the price now. They're lower quality and they cost more. Go figure, man. You don't get what you pay for nowadays, type of thing. I'm gonna have to find a better tire, is what I'm gonna say, man. These trailer tires that I'm buying from Harbor Freight suck ass, man. Used to be that you can drive them until the tread is gone, you know, and they'll last that long. But now they form those little bubbles and stuff, and like there's no kind of warranty on them, man. They're just selling you garbage, man. Carlisle, man. That's Carlisle is the tire brand. Don't buy them. They're garbage, man. Anyway, but yeah, I wound up having to buy another one anyways. So I stopped in Gilroy. There's a Harbor Freight. So I go to Harbor Freight. I looked online to see if it was in stock, and I buy another trailer tire. I stick it in the trailer storage box, and then off we go. I got a spare tire. We're gonna drive like 600 miles. I want to have a freaking spare tire for my trailer, you know. Yeah, it's a good thing. And luckily we didn't have any more problems with the trailer from there on out. Okay, I'll tell you that now. Luckily, good thing I caught it before I got too far from home, is what I'll say. All right. Yeah, it was pretty easy. It was pretty easy to change it in front of my house, type of thing. But I have all the tools to do it on the road too. So yeah. So now we're finally on the way. All right, we head to Fresno. I get there around I think around 1 o'clock, 1:30. That was right. I got there around 1:30. I buy the stand from the dude. Thanks, dude. I told him, hey, I need it for a race, and yeah, if I didn't have it, then I wouldn't be able to use the tire warmers on both bikes. All right, so we would have played this game like, hey, you know, hot potato. One bike gets the warmers, and then the next bike gets the warmers, that type of thing. All right, just like that one Super Moto race. But now I got 2 stands. All right, that's good. I would love to get another Harbor Freight lift stand. All right, the jack stand. But it just takes up too much space. I don't want to carry 2 of those. This and the other one will do the trick, type of thing. I could probably put the light B on it too. So I got the stand, and we head down to. So the idea was to head to the nearest rest stop. All right, before we got to. There was two plans. All right, it was either sleep at the rest stop, or sleep at the Hungry Valley. Off-road park, all right, and because they have campsites over there, and it's $10 to camp. It's super cheap. You just pay the fee, and then you go in and then set up camp. All right. So I was gonna do either one. All right. But the later we got there, the better, because I think you can stay at a rest stop like 8 hours or something. So the plan was to go to the rest. The first plan was to go to the rest stop and just sleep there. All right, sleep there until it's time to go, type of thing. So it's like to get to Huntington Beach, all right, it's at Bolsa Chica Beach is where it's at, okay, at Huntington Beach, all right, in LA. And it's like it takes about 2.5 hours to get there from the rest stop. So I said, hey, you got to wake up 2.5 hours before, and then we got to go drive there. I stopped by Panda Express, got dinner along the way. I took my sweet time eating dinner because I knew I didn't have to be anywhere right away. And then I went to the rest stop. It's like right over the Grapevine, sort of. and then and I took a nap. I slept there until about 3:30 or something, and it was okay. I got a pretty good night's sleep. And yeah, it's not my first time sleeping at a rest stop. All right, I know they don't want you to set up tents there and stuff, but yeah, it worked out, is all I want to say. And yeah, I'm sleeping with my stuff, you know, and there's rest stops are actually pretty safe, is all I'm gonna say. You got other people around you, you know. I have to sleep with all the truckers because I have the trailer and everything. But the only thing is, yeah, there's trucks pulling in and out the whole night, and it's right by the freeway. But you know what? HadesOmega is a heavy sleeper. I can sleep through that. Okay, luckily I can. Type of thing. So I slept until 3:30, and we drove on over to the Bolsa Chica beach. All right, State Beach, and then we unloaded. So HadesOmega actually missed the pit entrance. It said so in the email, like where it was, and I saw it, and I was like, hey, you know what? That might be the entrance. But I went down the highway, one more exit, and then I went into where the GPS told me to go, and oh shit, man, this is not the right one. This is the wrong entrance. It's the entrance to go to the beach, but it's not the entrance to go to the pits. The one I saw before was the pits one, all right. But the address they put in, it sent me to the wrong thing. So I imagine a lot of people did that. So now they had this thing where like people were waiting to get into the beach parking, and you have to pay like a parking fee to get in, or a day use fee to get to park and use the beach. And I guess there's a turnaround, but everything was all blocked off. So I was like, oh shit, what do? I can't get out. I need to go back to where the pit area is. So I backed my trailer up, and I went the wrong way because it's like a 4-lane thing to get into the parking thing. And it was really early in the morning. There was probably 5 cars there already trying to wait to get in. And I turned around, and I went out the wrong direction, and I went in to the other. I was able to get my car into the lane to turn back to go back to the pits. All right, we went back to the pits, and then they're like, hey, can I'm here to set up. I need to go to the pits to set up. And they're like, oh, it's too early. They said you can come at 6 o'clock, and it was like 5:40 or something. So I had to go somewhere else and hang out for like 20 minutes. I just went down the block or something, and I stopped for like 20 minutes, and I played around on my phone. And then I went back, and they let me in, and then I dropped all my stuff off, and Alex Mock was there. He's the race director. He's from DRT Racing. He kind of knew me. He was like, hey, Merlin, do you have a canopy? I was like, no, I don't have a canopy. And I was like, oh, you know what? You can set up right here. He had a canopy set up and everything, and he let me set up underneath his tent. So thanks, Alex, man. I don't get very many. I don't have my own canopy. It's a pain in the butt to have to manage one and stuff. And he just let me use it. So thanks, Alex. You gotta let anybody else use it. But luckily, I got to pit next to Parker Pittman and Andy DeBrino. All right, they're really, really fast racers. All right, I think they race in Moto America. Yeah, they were really fast, and I raced against them too. By the way, you'll find that out in a bit. So I get there, and I unload all my stuff. I'm kind of unclear where he wants me to put all my stuff, and he's like, no, you put your stuff inside the tent. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I put all my stuff in the tent, and then I parked I unloaded everything. I parked it in the parking. There's a little road that goes to the parking lot, and you go in there, and they give you a parking pass. All right, but I didn't get the parking pass. First I parked there. I grabbed my scooter. I have my little green pit scooter, and I rode it down the beach. They have this there's a little sidewalk there, and you can ride like stuff there, like scooters and bicycles and Surons. I see people were riding like Surons around and everything. It's nuts, man. The amount of like electric bicycles they have there for people riding around the beach it's nuts. That's the most electric bicycles I've seen anywhere. And then there's people riding their pit bikes in there, and I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to, man. But like, they were pretty lax with the rules and stuff. They knew like there was going to be a big motorcycle event. People are just doing whatever. That's what I noticed. So I park, and then I go back, and then I set my pit up. Alex tells me, "No, you can pit in the 10." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sweet. That sounds good to me." And so I pit it there. I set my pit up. All right, the bikes are all set up. I got all my stands and all that good stuff. And then I go get the registration packet, and it has the parking pass on it. So I got to go drive back to the parking lot and put the parking pass on there before I get a freaking ticket or something. All right. Oh, it's this right here. I'm keeping it too, by the way. Yeah, this is it, right? This is the parking pass, guys. Okay, racer parking pass. All right, that's what it is. My little souvenir right there. All right, at Bolsa Chica State Beach. All right, that's where it was at. All right. So yeah, we're all set up, and I think, and then yeah, I'm just getting the bikes all set up. I got the tire warmers on there. I got them both on the stand. The Redshift barely fits on the stand. It's just the stand lifts it just high enough where I can get the tire warmers on there, but the front tire warmer touches the ground a teeny tiny bit, that's fine. I don't care. As long as it's not like resting on it really, really tight. All right, it's not good for the tire. Yeah, so and then we were running tire warmers. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one running tire warmers there. All right, I thought it was going to be kind of strange, but like, yeah, I've seen people run tire warmers at flat track events also. All right, the indoor ones. So it's not uncommon to see tire warmers at flat track racing events, especially if you got slicks. You know, slicks have to be at a certain temperature for them to be sticky, or else they'll just slip and slide all over the place. But hey, it's a flat track race. That's what you do. You slip and slide everywhere, right? That's the idea, right? Well, it doesn't matter. I was going for grip, guys. The more grip, the better. The faster I can go, all right? So yeah, anyway, I get there, I look at the track, and I watched a race like 3 years ago. It was a Moto Geo. I got to meet Moto Geo also. I get to meet Jamie Robinson. I asked him if he was racing, and he said, "Oh, I got a broken wrist. I can't race." But he was there. It was cool. I got to meet him and chat with him a little bit. He's a real cool guy. I watched a bunch of his YouTube videos. All right, he's like one of my YouTube heroes. That's what I'll say. Motorcycle YouTubers. All right. Yeah, it was cool to finally meet him. I follow him on Instagram also. But anyway, yeah, I looked at the track. And yeah, also I got to take a look at all the other stuff. It was like, it's not only just a racing event. There's like a bike show. There's like vendor booths and everything. This event was lit, man. And later in the day, I saw like there's a motorcycle parking, hundreds of bikes. There must have been like at least 100 bikes parked right next to the beach. I think the motorcycle parking was free or something. And they even had like jet ski demos. They were demoing the live wire bikes. Fortunately, I've ridden all of them already, so I don't really need to ride them again, type of thing. It would have been nice to ride it by the beach. Yeah, there was a ton of things to do at this event. All right. Yeah, and there was like a bar called Sea Legs, and you can go there and do the thing. It's pretty cool. And I saw Hawk Mazada's bike, his Indian bike, the air-cooled Indian, the one that he won the championship on. It was there. All right, I'll show you some pictures. Okay, yeah. Anyway, the track was it was a short track, all right, and it was asphalt like they told us. So it would be suck if they threw a curveball. Oh, hey, you're racing on sand, or you're racing on dirt, or whatever, But yes, it was on asphalt. All right, so I was like, asphalt, yeah, Super Moto time, man. Super Motos excel on the asphalt. That's what I say. All right, that's our turf, the asphalt. All right, and there was a lot of classes. There was like 8 or 9 classes. Let me see if I can remember it. Because I had to go through the whole chart and stuff. But yeah, it was a short track. It was similar to the short track that was at the Santa Rosa Indoor. Yeah, it's like I think it's maybe like an 1/8 mile short track. It was really short, really, really short. That's why they call it a short track, guys. And we were going counterclockwise. All right, I've never known to do clockwise. All right, I've never done a clockwise race. Usually it's counterclockwise because Guess why? Why? Because the rear brake is on the right side. Well, this doesn't make a difference on this bike because the brakes are on the handlebar. All right, that's the advantage right there. But yeah, it was a short track on asphalt. So and so that was a scoop. So it was like they just said it was. And so HadesOmega's plans are coming to fruition. That's what I say. All right, I got the warmers on there. Everything's all sticky. So these were the classes, guys. I believe the first class was vintage MX. All right, old motocross bikes. Yeah, man, there are people with that. There's like all sorts of different bikes there, man. It is a gaggle. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, vintage MX. Singles Open was the second race. I think Mad Dog. Yeah. So the third class was Mad Dog. All right, that's the mini race. All right, the mini bike race, and that's the one. That's the one I usually race in. All right, but they don't have an electric class most of the time, but they had an electric class, so that's why we raced in electric. Electric was class 4. All right. I think class 5. I don't remember. I don't recall what class 5 was, man. But there was a Stay6 12 and a Stay6 16. All right, the little kid bikes. All right, they had Stay6 races, and then they had maybe that was Mad Dog. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't quite remember, guys. Sorry. And then race 8. I was race 4 and race 8. 8 was Run With Ya Brung. Okay, and there was a bunch of us. There must have been like 12, 14 of us, quite a bit. And then they had Supermoto. There was a Supermoto class, so we could actually race the Alta in that class. But I looked at the bikes racing in that class and who was racing in it. I was like, oh, dude, these guys are like pro Supermoto racers. They're the people that race in Moto America, right? They're the ones that race in the Super Hooligan race. So I was like, yeah, you know the Andy DeBrino guy that was like pit next to me, yeah, that guy. And yeah, so. And then there was there was a hooligans, all right. There's hooligan amateur, hooligan ladies, and then there was super hooligans, all right. Super hooligans was the pro racers, all right, on big bikes, all right. Those super hooligan bikes. Okay, so those were the classes, and we raced in 2 of them, like I mentioned. We probably could have done Supermoto with this, and so the good thing about these these flat track races is that you don't need a whole lot of gas or battery in this case to race them. You won't need to charge at all. I guarantee you, man. We hardly went through any charge. Okay, so that's the scoop. I didn't have to charge at all. The only reason I brought the generator was to run the tire warmers. That's it. All right, so the generator was on tire warmer duty the whole day. All right, so I had to run the warmers for both bikes, and that's kind of a lot of power. Okay, so I did have to burn some gas, unfortunately. Yeah, so practice comes along. Well, there was a riders meeting, and then there was a practice. I get all my gear on, and then we go out. We went out on the light B first. All right, sorry, I mixed it up. Class 4 was Run With Ya Brung, and Class 8 was Electric Open. Okay, yeah, I didn't really get to meet most of the Run With Ya Brung. Run With Ya Brung was kind of like a mix. Whew. Okay, I'll tell you about some of the bikes that I think so. Our class was so big that we had to split the practice up into 2 groups. All right, and so the way they score you is with the transponder, right? It's the the MyLapse transponder. I just stuffed it in my boot, so because I didn't put it on I never put it on the bike. I always put it in my boot, and that's a good idea because if you have 2 bikes, you have to remember to switch the transponders between bikes. Well, if you got it in your boot, you don't have to worry about that. All right. So I'm not gonna lie. This becomes this may have made me lose a race later on by putting it in my boot. All right. I will go over that when we get there. All right. Anyway, so yeah, practice comes along. I think I go out with the first group, and it's Run With Ya Brung. All right, and we're on the Alta Redshift. Alta Redshift's first out. All right, we're in mode 4 and we're ripping it. All right, as fast as we can. And so the bikes at Run With Ya Brung were pretty nuts, man. You got bikes from flat trackers. All right, Cage Tadman. All right, I've watched Cage race before in Reading. All right, or was it Reading or in Red Bluff? I saw him race, and he is very, very fast. Okay, he's very, very fast on the dirt, and he's very, very fast on the asphalt. He's a flat track expert flat track racer. All right, Cage Tadman. I recognize him. All right. I don't really recognize everybody else. There was I saw a Harley Davidson bagger out there. I saw a pit bike, one of those pit bike, like it's literally the pit bike that you have to pull the string, you know, and it has the big fat tires on it. And yeah, man, it was a pit bike, man. Not like a dirt bike pit bike. It was like it's pit bike. You wouldn't want to race with this thing. There were mini dirt bikes. There was a motocross bikes. You name it, it was there, man. Was there any other electric bikes? I think there. So there was an Electric & Co. KX there, right? It was a KX65. I think it was a KX65 with the Electro & Co. kit, and they didn't even know what motor was in there. I was like, is that a QS165? And they're like, I don't know. No, it was a QS138. They had a QS138 with their Electro & Co. battery and controller and all that garbage, man. And I knew, oh, you better beat these guys, man. Don't let this Electro & Co. garbage beat you, man. Okay? I've ridden an Electric & Co. Conversion bike, all right, a 150R, and it was pretty fast, I'm not going to lie, okay? But he had knobbies, all right? So he didn't have as much grip as I did, okay? I think he was racing in that race, in the Run What You Brung, and there was super motorbikes. There was flat track bikes. Yeah, there was everything, man. It was chaos. That's what I'll say. All right. So anyway, practice goes along, and I'm doing pretty good. I did 25 laps. They said we were going to get a lot of practice, and we did get a lot of practice. I was out there for so long. I was like, man, I'm kind of getting tired. I don't want to think anymore. But I did 25 laps, guys. 25 during the practice. Practice was probably like 10 minutes long, and I did 25 laps around that oval, just doing left turns the whole time. Yeah, and I was getting pretty good at it with the Redshift. The problem with the Redshift is it's heavy, man. It doesn't turn very good, but it got a lot of power, man. When that mode 4, it just goes, all right. So we actually did pretty good. My best time was a 12:1, all right. And so that put us 6th place in the qualifying. All right, so I got the grid 6. I think I got the grid. No, I didn't, because there's some other stuff here. The list is kind of messed up. They have people in different places and stuff. Yeah, I was like in the middle of the pack, is what I'm gonna say. So for the heat race, I didn't even know where to line up. They're like, you just go there. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't really care. I think I started in the back for the heat race. But anyway, yeah, I got a pretty good feel for how the bike does on the short track, and it's pretty good. The Redshift has just that explosive power in the beginning, man. You just get on it. It's a great flat track bike. The only thing is it's heavy, all right? And there's a way to combat that, all right? And I'll talk about that in the electric class, all right? So for the electric class, here's the competitors, all right, guys? It's me on the Soron Light Bee, all right? There's a dude that had a Talaria, all right? I didn't know what Talaria it was, but I asked him later, and you'll find out what happens between me and him later. It was a Talaria MX4R. It was like, it looked clean, like pristine, like brand new. Like, and they hadn't really done a whole lot of modifications on it. It had Trials tires on it. That was it, okay? And if you guys don't know what a Talaria MX4R is, like it's like a regular Talaria, like a Suron, all right? It's a Talaria. It has the gearbox in it, but it's got like, I think it has like twice the power of a Soron Light Bee, and it has a bigger battery pack, all right? So it's like a better Soron Light Bee, all right? Well, obviously I have a modified Soron Light Bee, so you should be able to beat it, right? HadesOmega. I'm still outspec. I pretty much outspec everybody. Everybody, all right? There was a bunch of those Grainger bikes, those Grainger G3Ss. I'm not I'm not lying. I watched them ride those bikes, and they look pretty zippy. They look pretty fast. I was like surprised they didn't beat me, guys. Okay, yeah, those things were pretty fast, is what I want to say. And they had Parker Pittman and Andy DeBrino. All right, I think they're pro racers. They were racing on those. All right, stock green gear bikes. I don't know if they were stock, but they seem pretty fast. They're little, like a 110 size mini bike. That they're 72 volts, and they got like slick tires on them and everything. So it's a mini supermoto. There was if I remember correctly, there was that Electro & Co. KX. All right. And then there was there was a KTM Freeride. All right. That's the first time I had seen somebody riding one. That's kind of nuts, right? And yeah. So okay, and then there was an Alta Redshift. All right, guys. So I had the other Alta Redshift. He saw mine. He's like, "Oh, you have the Alta. How come you're not racing it?" Because I'm faster on the light B. That's what I told him. And yeah, it's like it's lighter and you can throw it around. So this guy was a legit flat track racer. Okay, he was a legit. His name was Zane. All right, and what he told me, he was a electrical engineer for Alta Motors. All right, so he had actually worked on he did something to help design this bike. All right, he told me he designed the jig so you can put the stickers on the front of the bike in the same place all the time. That's what he told me. He's like, yeah, see where that sticker is placed? That's me right there. That type of thing. All right. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I've met a lot of people that work for Alta. It's kind of nuts, man. They're out there, man. But yeah, I got to meet him, Zane, and so his bike was a 2017 Alta MX, just a regular MX with the APAC, and it was set up for flat track. He had 19-inch front and rear. All right, I've got 17 front and rear, and I've got and he had flat tracker tires. All right, the flat tracker tires, it looks kind of like a dual sport tire, like a street oriented dual sport tire. I don't have. Oh yeah, right. If you look at this tire, if you can kind of look at the tire on my DR here, that's kind of like a flat track tire. It's like a dual sport tire, sorry, but it's more for like the pavement. And it lets you slip and slide a little bit. That's what you want, all right. And so he told me his bike had been lowered 4 inches too. So one thing about the Alta Redshift, even the SM model, it's pretty tall. It's like 30-something, 32, 33 inches tall. His bike was really low. So that's one thing you can do to get your Redshift to handle better, is to lower it, all right? Because this thing is it's tall. It feels tall, all right? When you got all that weight up high, it makes it not handle so good, all right? I'm having a hard time racing this Supermoto, guys. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Anyway, so yeah, he was the guy on the Alta Redshift. All right, I got to chat with him. He's a pretty cool guy. And we kind of hung out. Yeah, and so we go out and we do practice, and HadesOmega gets P2, guys. Boom. All right, HadesOmega is P2. I got 11.821 was my best time. All right. I'm not gonna lie. There was a girl out there, Cassidy Castle, all right, and I watched her race in the hooligan race. She was racing one of those. She raced in the female hooligan class too. She was pretty awesome, man. So yeah, she was a legit flat track racer, okay, and she was racing one of those Grainger G3Ss, and she was fast. I'm not gonna lie. I somehow got up behind her. And I kept on trying to pass her, and I was following her. I was like, man, I can't pass this girl. She's fast. Yeah, I could not believe it, man. Maybe because I was passing her, maybe it made me faster. I'm not sure, but yeah, she got a 11.885, so she was like right behind me. And then after that, we got Andy DeBrino and then Parker Pittman. All right, those are those pro racers. And then Travis Consul, he was on the Talaria, all right, and then there was the free ride and the KX, all right. So anyway, HadesOmega got second place, all right. I had second fastest lap in qualifying. So that lets me start in the definitely lets me start in the front on the inside in the first race. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm like, oh, I'm happy. Like, yeah, I got P2. Yeah. All right. So heat race comes along, and we're run with your brung. All right, and run with your brung is freaking nuts, man. So the bikes take off. And like there's all these crazy, but there's lots of traffic. There's bikes that are really fast. There's bikes that are really slow. There's bikes that are super small, and there's bikes that are super big. It is chaos, man. And I'm just out there on the Redshift, just like, you know, ripping it out there. I've heard people don't even know I'm racing an electric bike in that race. Luckily, Zane wasn't racing in that race. Well, so it winds up that. I wind up in 4th place, guys. Not bad, all right? Out of, I don't know, like 15 bikes, we got 4th place. That's really, really good, guys. I think we started on the 2nd row, and I worked my way up to the 4th place. I shit you not, man. It was not hard to pass people. It's run with your brung, man. There's like people there that are really good, and there's people that aren't really good, all right? So it's just like, and it's just, run with your brung is just kind of like it's like goofy class, man. Just anything is out there. Well, obviously the fastest people in the front are the supermoto racers and the flat trackers. Okay, like they're the legit racers, right? So we got Cage. So the Cage Tadman was 1st place. All right, he's the guy I was talking about, the flat track racer. And then I think Brennan Baptist or something. I think one of these guys, Robert Bush or Brennan Baptist, they were like either a flat track racer or they were a supermoto racer, right? And so they would be up there battling. It would just be 3 of them battling it out, and I would be, you know, trying to chase them, and then I got all these other guys behind me. Then eventually you start lapping people, and yeah, it's just chaos. It's like you're racing in a freaking washing machine type of thing. It's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Usually HadesOmega's the one getting passed so a lot, and like that wasn't the case in this race. And the Redshift did pretty good. I was surprised. So like yeah, we got 4th place, just shy of the podium, for the heat race. All right, but yeah, it's just a heat race. It's just a practice race, guys. Okay, but yeah, I was pretty happy. Good job, buddy. You got me 4th place. By the way, these are the leathers that I use, the Cortec leathers for this race. Okay. And the weather was great. I was gonna say it was in the 70s. Maybe it got to like the low 80s in the daytime at the hottest, and then it cooled down after that. You know, and it was just great weather at the beach, man. I'm telling you. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed racing at the beach. It's definitely something I can cross off my bucket list. I raced motorcycles next to the beach, or at the beach type of thing, right? Yeah, it was pretty dope. All right. Okay, so and then eventually the electric open heat race comes along. All right, not too far off. We're after I think the Mad Dog. We're after the Mad Dog races. So green flag goes up, and boom, we go. All right, and I think I was able to, yeah. So they had everybody on the same line. It didn't really matter, you know. But I was like, I think, oh yeah, I came in 2nd for the qualifying, so I graded 2nd, like from on the left. All right, and then so boom, flag goes up, and then we take off, and then luckily I got behind Zane. All right, on the. Oh. On the Alta, I just followed him the whole time. Nobody could catch us, that type of thing. I was trying to pass Zane, but he was just too fast on the Alta, man. A flat track Alta is too much for the light B to keep up with, man. He was fast out there compared. He probably outspec everybody. All right, there's nobody that could probably be. The only bike that I think could have more power is maybe that free ride. All right, but the guy on the free ride wasn't that good as Zane, dude. Zane was he's a legit flat track racer, guys. He raced in the singles open also. All right, he didn't do too well in it, but yeah, he can hold his own, as I'm gonna say. All right, but yeah, so HadesOmega wound up finishing that race in 2nd. All right, and I think I got stuck behind. I was behind. Oh yeah. So that girl Cassidy, she crashed. I think she dropped her bike or something, and I wound up lapping her. Who was behind me was Travis Console. He was the guy on the Talaria. Okay. And then Parker Pittman and Andy DeBrino after that, and then this Eric Alquist. I think he's the guy on the KX. I think. All right, he was like 2 laps behind. So something must have happened. Something must have happened to the other guys in the back. All right, so we'll see, because they were way back there. We lapped them a couple times. All right, but yeah, I was 2nd place, guys. 2nd place. We're doing hella good, guys. 2 for 2. 2 for 2, guys. All right, so the numbers don't lie. Okay. All right. So yeah, and then the main race comes along. You know, it's late in the day. They had all these other. They had like a stunt thingy that took a long time, and then they had this freaking a wheelie race or something with the Super 73s. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of lame. They just take up a lot of time, man. I was like, man, I want to race already. I want to get this over with, and yeah, so. Main race comes along, all right, and then Run What You Brung, Alta Redshift. We're out there, guys, and it's the same results, all right. So except I got to start 4th this time, all right, and I could not keep up with those guys, man. I had yeah, so it was the same story as last time. I'm behind the fast guys, and then I'm just dodging people and passing people, trying to keep up with them, but I can't catch up to them. They're really good racers. And the Redshift just can't keep up with them, man. It's just too heavy. It's got the power, but it didn't get the handling, man. That's what I'm saying. And then there was this guy. I was trying to get around this guy on a motocross bike, and I came up underneath him, and I think he crashed in front of me. And then like he took me down too. I low-sided right next to him or something. Bike was on top of my bike. Oh, that's the 2nd time I crashed a freaking Redshift. Oh, here we go. I've got a souvenir from that race. Yeah, man. I got a souvenir from that race. This is my reflector. This is the reflector that's on the fork. I don't know how it came off. But like, yeah, it fell off on my bike. I was like, oh, it's not there anymore. And then I later at the end of the day, I went and recovered it, or on the track. I was like, oh, there it is. I found it. So yeah. I'm just, well, you know what Hades is gonna do? HadesOmega's gonna do? I'm just gonna take the other reflector off, man. It's ugly, and I don't want it on there. It just, you know, maybe I'll just put a piece of reflective tape on the fork or something, man. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the reflectors on the the Redshift. I want to get rid of all my reflectors, actually, guys. But yeah, we had some little battle scars. But we got out of it, you know. I didn't get hurt or anything, and the bike didn't get damaged all that much. Just a couple, I don't know, the reflector just got knocked off. That's what I say. All right, but yeah. And yeah, so what happened was I had already lapped that guy, by the way. I think I seen him drop his bike a few times. Like, and I was like, he kept on dropping his bike, and I was like, what the heck, man? Like, and then he crashed right in front of me, and then I crashed into him. Yeah, man. But I'd already lapped him, all right? So after I was able to get my bike up right away, and no kickstart, no nothing. You just get back on the throttle. That's the beauty of electric, right? And we just get back, and I get back in the game, and I finish the race, and we finish P4, guys. All right, so unfortunately we didn't get a trophy for that race, but I'm really proud of the Redshift. All right, it did really good. We got 4th place in that race out of many riders. I think there was like 15 riders or something. There was a lot of bikes. So I'm really happy with the results of that race. All right, good job, buddy. We did great. By the way, that was this bike's first flat track race also. So when I can get some kind of dirt tires, I'm planning to get some dual sport tires for my street tires. We'll use those for dirt track races on the Redshift, and then we can race against like 250s and stuff. So that's my plan in the future. But I still got to burn through the street tires, so I don't want to just get rid of them. You know, if I can still use them on the street to make money doing DoorDash. You know. Okay, so yeah, that's the scoop. We got 4th place in Run What You Brung. I'm actually really impressed with that. That's really good. All right. The only people we couldn't beat were pro supermoto racers and like pro flat track racers, guys. So HadesOmega is like a newbie flat track racer. I'm not gonna lie. I just started flat track racing this year, okay, and I've learned a lot from racing in these flat track races. So add another discipline to my belt. All right. Okay. So now finally we get to the electric open race. All right. After all these delays and stuff and like other events and stuff. I mean, it wasn't delayed. It was everything was going according to schedule, and then they just added other stuff in there. So we're like, we had to wait a long time to do the electric open race, and I'm like, I already kind of don't want to race, all right? Well, yeah, finally we get up there and we're ready to go race. All right, so I'm graded second again. I'm right next to Zane on the MX, the Alta Redshift MX, and we take off, and I kind of get a bad start. The Talaria jumps in front of me just a little bit.
Go! Oh, Talaria got in front of me.
And I got stuck behind him, and then the other people got in front of me. And I was like, oh shit, man! I had a kind of bad start. All right, it was an okay start, but I started like maybe like a second later than everybody else, type of thing. All right, like bad drag racing, HadesOmega. Your reaction time was not very good. Because the Talaria got the jump on us. I watched the video, so yeah, he got the jump. He even did a wheelie too. I was like, whoa, look at him go. And yeah, so we were like, what was it? I think, and when everybody took off, I wound up getting behind. I was behind the Talaria. The Talaria passed me, and then the KX had passed me, and then so I was battling it out with the KX for a couple laps. I think it was like an 8-lap race or something. And so I think I raced with the KX maybe like 3 laps, and I was able to pass them.
Alright, get the Talaria!
He left the inside open, and I snuck in there. Alright, he slowed down a whole lot. I noticed that KX, like, it doesn't hook up really well. It slips and slides all over the place. And every time I see it kind of do this fishtailing thing, I was like, oh yeah, I got you, bro. I got you, bro. You need some slick tires like me. But yeah, I passed the kid on the KX, the Electro & Co. KX. Aha! Take that, Electro & Co. I whooped your guys' bike. And then I whooped an Electro & Co. bike. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you know, HadesOmega does not have a good opinion of Electro & Co. Okay, I bought their controller and it nuked my motor. All right, in one race, I might add. All right, couldn't take the heat. All right, and now I'm stuck with a controller that doesn't work, that I can't sell. I'm so pissed off at them. Okay, so I'm glad I whooped them. I'm glad I whooped them in every race. Okay, I'm trying my best to whoop them everywhere. With the KO Light B. All right. Anyway, yeah. So I passed the KX, and then what was it? And then so I had my next target, Talaria. All right. The Talaria was already, and then the G3s, the Grangers they were behind us. Okay. I think everything was pretty close at first, and then we pulled away after like the first lap. And then yeah, it was me racing with the KX, and I passed the KX, and now I'm racing the Talaria, all right? But it's already like halfway towards the race. The KX slowed me down a lot, and it let the Talaria get away, all right? And I'm not gonna lie, the Talaria is pretty fast, man. It's got twice the power of a stock Light B, all right? This has got, I'm not gonna lie, I had 16 kilowatts, all right? I have more than 3 times the power of a Sauron Light V, so you should be able to win. And you got more grip. You got sticky tires. Come on. And then so I'm locked. We're having a dogfight with the Talaria, and he's looking back. I see him. He looked back a couple times, and he knows I'm there, and he knows I'm coming for him. I'm coming for you, Travis. And I'm right on his tail, but I just can't pass him. He's blocking the inside.
You're blocking the inside.
So I'm trying to take the outside. You know, I'm trying whatever I can. If you're going to block the inside, then I'm going to try to pass you on the outside. But yeah, passing on the outside is difficult. It was a good race. I'm not going to lie. It was really, really close. And I bring the heat on, is what I say. All right. And then so I think I managed to swoop in. I think he went wide and I went inside the last lap. All right. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, we might lose against the Talaria, and then on the last lap, all right, the checkered flag comes up, right, and we go around the corner. I was able to get inside of him, and then drag race him to the finish. All right. Unfortunately, the drag race wasn't long enough, and I lost. All right. It was like this. It was like a neck and neck, almost like whoosh, like that. And I was going so fast. I had that throttle wide open, and I was going full send. All right, guys. And I was going so fast that I didn't even slow down enough. I almost hit the barrier. I went straight for the barrier, and I was able to pitch the bike sideways just in time, and I just kind of just kissed the barrier a little bit. Yeah, dude, I was going that fast. All right, to try to pass him. And
Come on, go, man!
and we were like, oh shit, dude, who won? We don't know who won. We literally crossed at the same time almost, but Travis beat me by like 0.030 seconds. 0.03 of a second, I lost the race. All right, just like freaking drag racing, fractions of a second count. No. It was all. I had a great race with him though. I got high-fived him like, hey man, good race, dude. You rode good. Yeah, man, he blocked me a bunch of times, dude. We were racing, man. It was really close. So okay, I did mention like I kind of shot myself in the foot when I put my transponder in my boot. All right, so I think Travis's transponder was on his fork. All right, that's where everybody mounts it on. They mount it on the fork right here. So the fork is here. Well, my foot is back here. All right, so it's a good 1, 2. It's like about 2 feet away from the foot peg. That 2 feet probably would have made a big difference, is what I'm gonna say. Had I like kicked my foot forward out all the way, maybe I would have won. I'm not sure, man, but yeah, because there's a transponder thing, a transponder, a receiver, and yeah, so I think if I hadn't have put it on my boot, and if I put it on the front of my bike somewhere, or I just took it out of my boot and freaking just threw it over the finish line, maybe we would have won, man. But yeah, dude, our transponders cross 0.030 before, after Travis passed on the Talarias, and HadesOmega lost the second place, man. It never ceases to amaze me, HadesOmega, how you do so good in the practice and you do so good in the heat race, and then you screw it up in the main race. All right, it's happened many times to me this year, man. In the motocross race and the dirt track, the flat track dirt track races. Oh my God, man! Every time, man. I think I'm doing good. I think I'm going to get on the podium. Then you let this guy slip past you, and that's it. Game over. You got booted off of the podium. Luckily, HadesOmega did not get booted off the podium. I took home the 3rd place trophy for the Electric Open, alright? So, I couldn't take home the 2nd place trophy, guys. Sorry. I tried my best. I was 2nd place in practice, 2nd place in the heat. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get 2nd place in the main, all right? And about the Redshift, man, there's no way I could catch up to that. It was, you know, like I said, the numbers don't lie, and that Redshift was fast, man. And I know how fast a Redshift is, and especially one that's specifically set up for this kind of race. Yeah, that was a tough customer to beat. I couldn't beat it off the line. I know I can't beat it off the line because I ride this thing, all right? This thing is a monster offline. This is a whole shot machine, the Redshift, all right? The Redshift is a whole, there is so much power. This thing puts out like 50 kilowatts of power or something, all right? Versus the 16 kilowatts I'm pushing through the Light Beat. So yeah, that's the one thing I wanted to mention. I did jack the power up a little bit today. I knew that we just needed really short bursts of power, and we didn't need to hold the throttle open a long time. So the battery won't get hot, all right? The motor won't get hot, the controller won't get hot. We're not stressing it out all that much. It's basically you're on the throttle, you're off the throttle. You're on the throttle, you're off the throttle, all right? And yeah, so I thought we did great, all right? So unfortunately, we only got the 3rd place trophy. I'm kind of bummed about it, but hey, you know what? I had a great race with Travis. Hats off to Travis, man. I had a good race with you. You know, rubbing is racing. We didn't do any rubbing, so that's that's good. It was good. It was a clean race. All right, it was a clean race. I think I almost bumped into him once, and then he kind of pulled away because I had to slow down a lot. You know, that's what happens. You know, if you can't, you got to find the weaknesses in their defense. All right, if they leave the window open, you gotta take it. All right, that's how it is. It's yeah, flat track racing is really interesting. It's almost like drag racing, you know. Everything happens so fast. All right, really interesting. Anyway, that's the trophy right there. I get to take a picture with some pretty girls also. Check it out. Okay, I was so I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed with the award ceremony. We had the award ceremony at Sea Legs, that little bar place. And they only had like a podium. They only let people go up to the stage for the hooligan races and the stay sick races. And then Roland Sands was like, okay, everybody else just go grab your trophies on the table. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, like how were some people supposed to know if they got a trophy? They didn't post the results anywhere, man. There was no results, and they didn't print any results out. I'm not gonna lie. This event was kind of like, the only way I knew we got third place was I looked on the phone. All right, if you have a My Laps or a Speed Hive app on your phone, you can look it up. All right, and that's what I did. I looked it up. That's why after the race I went straight to my phone. I was like, "Ooh, did we get second or do we get third?" And I saw it. I was, "Oh crap, we lost. We got third." All right, but we still got on the podium. We still beat. We beat pro supermoto super hooligan racers. All right, we beat flat track racers. All right, I beat a KTM freeride and I beat an Electro & Co bike. Okay, so give yourself a pat on the back. You know, good job Light B, you did great. All right, I think we did great. Would HadesOmega do this event again? You know what? I'm not gonna lie, it's a big hassle, man, to have to come down here and there's no place to camp or anything. But would I do it again? Yes, I would do it again. All right. Next year, I would probably look and see what kind of So I'll go over the what went well and what we could do to improve next time. I think pretty much everything went pretty good, despite not being able to find a place to sleep before getting there, because it takes like 6 hours for me to get there, you know. The sleeping at the rest stop worked well. All right, I woke up in just enough time to drive down there, and then we got there actually a little bit early, and then we set the pit up and everything. Thanks Alex for giving me a spot at your tent. That was really cool. It was a really cool event. There was a lot of people there, a lot of people watching us race. And I'm sure it was very entertaining watching me race. I'm sure a lot of people were wowed, you know, by us racing in the electric class. It was exciting, especially be like crashing into the wall at the end. And yeah, it was nuts, man. It's crazy, and I would do it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. All right, you gotta ask yourself the 3 questions, HadesOmega. All right, did you have fun? Yes, I had fun. Did you get hurt? No, I did not get hurt. I did have a crash, but no, I didn't get injured at all. Okay, yeah, it's just kind of I laid the bike down. And 3, did you break the bike? All right, no, we didn't break the bike. Like I said, I had a crash on the Light B, but this is the only damage. All right, I'm just gonna take the other reflector off now. I don't like it; they're ugly anyways. Okay, and we took home the 3rd place trophy. I think it was a good day. All right, we got to take pictures at the beach. I got to see some cool bikes. I got to race against some cool people. I got to meet the Zane on the Redshift. All right. Yeah, it was a great day. I really enjoyed it, and it was a beach. We were at the beach, and the weather was just great. There's nothing else you could ask for, man. The only thing is, like, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of food. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of food. I wish there was more food, like food trucks out there. That's what I'm gonna say. There was a Jack in the Box nearby, so now I know next time there's a Jack in the Box, we could just go to the Jack in the Box, get food, and come back. Okay. Yeah, there was just a lot of people. There was a lot of garbage and stuff. There's a lot of people using the bathroom sometimes. Yeah, it was kind of a zoo. I've never been to a racing event that big before. All right, it was nuts. Last year they had the Red Bull Straight Rhythm event too, so I can imagine it was probably even crazier last year. I get to look at some cool bikes. I actually looked at a Kaofen F8, I think is what it's called. It's like a bigger Suron bike that's street legal. All right. And I talked to them, and like they saw I was wearing my Suron hat. That's funny. I was wearing the Suron hat, and they were like, "Oh, so you got a Suron?" Like, yeah, this is street legal and everything. You can ride it on the street. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like a zero bike or something. And they sold Coulter bikes too. I've been wanting to demo ride a Coulter bike for a while. All right, but I can't find anybody that had it, and sure enough, they had it. So I have their card. But they're in Costa Mesa, so I can't just come visit them and ride their bike. All right, but I do know where you can buy them now, so I don't think I want to buy one. HadesOmega is looking to buy an Energica, man. Yeah, so that's a scoop. What could we do better for next year? Bring the same bikes. I think next year you should probably race more classes. That's what we could have done. Maybe we could have raced in the Mad Dog race, and maybe we could have raced in the Supermoto race. All right, I don't think we'd do too good with this bike in the Supermoto race because I'm not doing too good with the Supermotos. All right, but Run What You Brung was fun. Yeah, but we'll definitely race Electric Open and Run What You Brung again. All right, but yeah, we'll see if we can race more classes next year. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I thought our planning was good. I think I went down on tire pressure on this guy, and we jacked the power up, and it helped. Okay, maybe we could jack the power even higher. All right, because I didn't feel it pulling any power back. All right, that's how I know it's okay. Well, when you hold that throttle wide open for long periods of time, it can't sustain that draw, the battery. Okay, so maybe next year we'll have a better battery. Next year we might have a better battery and a better controller. HadesOmega is planning to get the EBMX X9000 controller because it has a regen throttle. All right, it has a regen throttle. HadesOmega I miss the regen throttle on the BSC 4000, and the X9000 has one. Yeah, so the EBMX X9000 controller has a regen throttle. All right, and I want that. All right, I think the regen throttle would be great for the flat track races. Because that's the only brake I would use in the race. All right, I did wind up using the rear brake a lot, but I think if we had a regen brake, if we could slow the bike down faster and get it back up to speed faster, I think that'd be good. I think all our racing would be faster if I had a regen throttle. Yeah, I miss having the regen throttle, and it gave me the ability to back the bike in, like whenever I wanted, type of thing. And I think that'll be handy for flat track. Okay, so that's what HadesOmega is planning to do. Unfortunately, yeah, KO Moto controller, I'm planning to get rid of it. All right, I think I'm going to get the X9000. I've heard lots of good things about that controller. I'm not going to lie, the KO Moto controller is an excellent controller. Right, it can handle a lot of power, it can handle a lot of punishment, and it can handle a lot of heat. All right, I'm really impressed with it. Okay, but it's been pretty finicky. All right, but KO Moto's done a good job of keeping it up to date, type of thing. All right. Okay, so yeah, that's it. We got third place in the Electric Open, and we were just shy of getting a third place in the Run What You Brung. All right, better luck next year for you in that race, HadesOmega, and yeah. So I think next year I might do it again. It was a real pain in the butt to get there. The logistics and everything. You can't just camp there. If you're going somewhere far away, it's nice to be able to camp and then just set up your pit. But you don't have that luxury at this race. So it was a really, really big event, and there was a lot of people, and space was limited, type of thing. All right, so, but just pretty much do what you did again this year, and I think we'll do good again next year. Right? Hopefully we'll have the better controller. I'm planning to get a better controller and a better battery next year. Okay, thanks for watching. That's the AAR for the Moto Beach Classic 2023. All right, we took home the Electric Open third place trophy. So yeah, we took home the 3rd place in Electric Open. All right, I would have liked to get the 2nd place trophy, but that's racing, guys. That's what happens. You never know what's going to happen, and there it is. All right, so, but I'm happy that we were able to get a podium. All right, and we almost got a podium for the Redshift. All right, so try again next year. Maybe we'll do better. Maybe we'll do worse. Never know. That's racing. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to be there, what kind of bike is going to be there. But definitely, the bikes HadesOmega took with him, all right, and prepared, were a force to be reckoned with. Okay. Oh yeah, I also want to thank my sponsor, Liat. All right, Liat protective wears. All right, they're my sponsor for this year. Yeah, so I was rocking their jersey at the event. All right, I wasn't really. Actually, maybe next year I might race with the Supermoto stuff. All right, the lightweight stuff. I should start trying to wear that stuff more. All right, thanks for watching. HadesOmega out.